Hello fellow YouTubers, Goji Matt here, and I am here doing a little figure comparison. And before I say anything, this may not be for everyone because I am comparing a 6-inch figure compared to a 12-inch figure, so this might not be a total fair comparison, but I just decided to compare the two because their detail is pretty much on par with each other. They're both highly posable, and not to mention their paint applications are out of the park. I was gonna throw in the Lights and Sounds Godzilla, which is the only other 2014 Godzilla I own, but I realized with all these guys' paint applications, detail, it just blows that one out of the park. So, and even with that gimmick, it's still not as kind of thing as these two, because these two are just far superior, and I'd realized I would get a lot of hate by comparing that one to these two. So yeah, let's compare them. Now, I have done reviews on these guys, and I will link them in the description so you guys can check both of them out. So I'm going to do like an abridged kind of thing, but still reviewing them. Head, it seems pretty movie accurate, although his eyes are kind of derped. Hold on. You can see his slitted pupils, and they kind of go off to the side. That's okay. Teeth are semi-sculpt with the individually painted, and they kind of stick out a bit, which is interesting. No mouth paint aside from the red tongue, which I do like. The membrane is not painted at all, which to some people pretty disappointing, but in my opinion, it's not that of an eyesore. Here we have like a tannish wash going down his entire body and going all the way down to the tail. I was really surprised because the Bandai Japan's one just kind of like stopped like near here, and I thought that Bandai Creations would do the same, but judging from reviews, it apparently it's fully painted. So yeah, he has a glossy finish, not as glossy as the NECA one over there, but it's still pretty glossy, and kind of like mixed with the glossy paint and a matte finish, kind of. And the spikes they're not really sharp, but they're also not rubber. Well, they can flex, but they're not really meant for that. They're supposed to stay there. And that's kind of it. There's no extra paint. There's just yellow eye, black pupil, red tongue, white teeth, and brown wash going down his stomach, and glossy charcoal gray paint. So yeah. Next, we're gonna go over the NECA Godzilla, which actually has a bit more variety with the paint. You see, it has the same exact paint. Hold on, if my camera can focus in. What if I turn the light off? That just made it worse. Well, if you've seen other reviews, wait, there we go. You can sort of see right there, there's like a slitted pupil there with white eyes. Sorry, yellow eyes, like kind of like this guy over here. And there's a bit more variety in the paint. We have a brownish version of the color we saw in the Bandai Creations color going down here. And I can't really tell if it's there or not, like on the bendy wire part, but it looks really actually cool. Like, I believe like lizards in real life, they're just kind of like one solid color at a time, but then they could have like extra colors. Kind of like this guy. He's like a real life lizard you're holding in your hand, except he's not. He's an action figure. In the mouth, we have a pinkish purplish tongue in there, which it seems weird to people how the tongue is raised up, but that's because if it was on the tongue, then it would just be staying on the tongue and hindering the articulation, and it would kind of look a little weird. So they decided to put it in the air, and I like it because when he roars, his tongue kind of goes a little up. In the movie, His teeth are individually sculpted. Mine are looking pretty good here with all the paint. And he also has like a blackish bluish wash on him. It does show up well on camera, but it does not show up well in person. And the nails are painted a solid black. Same with the toenails. They're brownish a little bit. And that's kind of it. So, paint job. Who wins in paint job? I would say the NECA wins because of its variety, but the Bandai creations got... Oh, wait, there we go. See? Oh, wait, let's see if I can put them in the same pose. There we go. There we go. I like that. Anyways, this guy's paint is still pretty good, but this guy's paint is still better. And now in terms of movie accuracy, I'm going to have to give it a tie between these two because they just look so good. Like, if I extremely had to give a point, I would give it to the NECA one because his head is just about the right size because the 2014's head was pretty dang small, while this guy's head is a little too large, but that's just minor nitpicks. But I'm going to say it's a tie no matter what. So yeah, 1 point for NECA, tie for both. So it's 1-2 right now. So both of them get a point. Now, posability. And when I say posability, I do not mean articulation. I mean the range of articulation. Now, let's see for the NECA one. NECA, it has a dual ball joint in the head, so it can look up about that far. Down about that far. To the left, to the right. You have double rotation in the head and the neck. And the jaw's on a hinge. The arms are on a ball joint, so you can go forward and back, all the way around. And you can kind of go in and out as if it was a hinge, and up and down. The elbows are on a double joint, and yes, I do mean double joint, because the hinge on the elbow plugs in there on a ball joint, so it's a double jointed elbow. So it's a elbow, so it's a hinge and ball joint. Two different joints, so it's a double joint. And the arms are on a barbell style joint. The waist on a barbell style joint, so you can go forward and back, twist side to side. The legs, they go in this motion, which I really do like, because you can twist them out to the side. You can kind of maneuver it to spread his legs out. And you can also kick straight up, which I really do like that joint. You have a little bit of a bend at the knee and swivel. And you have a ball joint at the foot, couple ball joints in the tail. Although it does tend to pop off. Hold on, let me just get this back on. Yeah, I was moving, like, trying to move it around until it popped off, and then ever since then it just started popping off, and we have a bendy wire on the rest of the tail. Now, on to this guy. He has a plain swivel at the head, so it can turn all the way around, which I actually do like this swivel a lot. His hands go in and out. Pretty nice range there. The legs are on a swivel, but they're kind of on the same joint, not a ball joint, but they kind of place kind of like the same because they kind of go in this oval motion. And the tail. This has to be the most posable tails ever Bandai Creations have given us. Because turning my camera angle a different way. Naturally, you want the tail to be like this, but if you push it down right here, it's perfectly fine. And then you can swivel this joint and swivel this joint, so you can have it going straight up. But this is probably only useful for people who don't mind the sculpt breaking up. You could have the tail going like this, Or maybe going like this so you can have him in like a swimming pose. Kind of looks a little weird, but who cares? And pretty much the possibilities are endless. So, which one wins this episode? Now, even though he has more points, I will say that the NECA one is slightly better than the Bandai 12-inch Godzilla, but even though that, I will say there's no actual definitive winner. It all comes down to personal preference. So tell me in the comments, do you prefer this guy over this guy, or this guy over this guy? Tell me in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.